hoping to do better.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Okay, and with
Now
that,
I have,
everybody, I started the recording. It is 1:30, so I want to make sure we get started because we have a lot of information to go over today. And I don't want to take up more time than we need to. So welcome to the Fall 2025 course preview event for OLLI at ISU. I'm excited to see so many of you online, and I know there's some others who wanted to join us but might be having issues getting on, which is why I'm recording this so that we can post it on our website and they can watch it later. So that's one of the nice things we're doing here today. And I just want to go over some housekeeping things before we get started. If you could please make sure to mute your microphones or at least be really, really quiet so that we can minimize the number of distractions throughout the event. That would be preferable and we would appreciate that. If you're not able to mute your computer, if you have your cell phone next to you, please make sure the volume is turned down. I have done the same on my phone. And I will try to monitor my work phone that also comes through my computer to try and keep that from interrupting us. We'll see how successful I am with that. Aside from that, I mentioned we are recording the event. That'll be on our website later this afternoon or tomorrow morning. And the instructors are all with us. I'm going to stress that you please stay within 90 seconds for your presentations that you give today. If you don't, I will need to interrupt and make sure that we keep things moving so we're being respectful of everybody's time today. So if you could pay attention to that, I would really appreciate it. I will announce courses for the instructors who can't be with us today. So every once in a while, I'll be jumping in and just announcing the title of a course and when it will be offered for those that couldn't be here with us today. And registration will open this Friday at 8:30 in the morning. You will be able to find the link to the registration on our website. So some of you are aware we've been having some issues with the rollover from our old website to our new website. I'm working as hard as I can to make sure that all of this will still be readily available. But the link should work. It will be fine. With the registration, we are going through a new system this year. Some of you are aware of this. You do need to pay for your membership first. You can't pay for them at the same time anymore. So please make sure that you go out and pay for your membership in our new registration program through ISU Registration Services. If you're not sure if you've done that yet, shoot me an email. I'll look it up and let you know. And I'll also send you the detailed instructions on how to go through that process. And then once your membership is processed, you will be able to register by logging into the account that you create with ISU Registration Services, and it should lead you straight through with no issues. So that's what I have to say with that. We also have a new numbering system. For those of you who've been able to see our catalog, hybrid courses will still have two different listings, but you'll notice they have the same ID number followed by a P as in person or a Z as in Zoom. That way they have the same course number, but the P indicates you will attend in person and the Z indicates you will attend via Zoom. And we do ask that you attend the way that you register for, especially that in-person piece, so that we can show support to our instructors and also have that nice social part of it as we meet in person together. We have had some changes since the catalog was published, and I just want to mention those here quick. I'll also mention them at the end. The course number 8, Exploring Space Frontiers, is a hybrid course. It was going to be for 4 weeks, but that instructor has been invited to a conference out of the country for the last class. So we're reducing that class to 3 weeks, and that has been updated on the registration form with the correct price and everything. So just want to make you aware of that. Course 27 was going to be hybrid. That is the Strengthening Our Community with AARP Iowa. That instructor has also had a schedule conflict come up with the national AARP, And so that will be online only because he won't be able to drive back and forth because of his other meeting. And then course 28, Navigating the Medical World in the 21st Century. My humanness came out in this one. I mistakenly listed that it would be on Tuesdays in the catalog, but it is actually on Wednesdays. The actual dates listed are correct, but the day of the week was wrong. So those will be on a Wednesday with the dates that are listed in the catalog. Okay, so that's what I had to talk about for housekeeping. And I'm just looking through the attendance list here. Someone from Green Hills was going to be joining us. They're sponsoring OLLI at ISU again this year. And they were going to jump on and share a few words with us, but I'm not seeing anyone. Is there anyone from Green Hills here that wants to speak?
I think no.
I'm not hearing anything. So we will go ahead and move on. I need to scroll down through my script, and all my other comments I saved toward the end. So we're going to go ahead and get kicked off. And Sam Wormley, can you get us started, please?
I shall. I'm Sam Wormley, and the course number 1 is Mac Computers Essentials and Support. This is 6 Mondays from September 15th through October 20th at the time of 9 in the morning, 9 Central Time. Some of us are brand new to Mac computers. Some of us are seasoned users. Each year, Mac becomes more it becomes more capable with enhanced privacy and security. Therefore, it's always good to review the basic function and learn the new features of our Macs that help us enjoy a safe, secure, and hassle-free computing via our connections with the internet. We'll talk about hardware, software, applications, security and maintenance, and there'll be an emphasis on safe practices and syncing with your other Apple devices. This is a very interactive course because I want to be what you need. So I'm going to count on you telling me, how do I do this or how do I do that? And in general, we're going to talk about navigating the Mac, making life easier, contacts and connections, Mac resources, media, word processing, accessibility, privacy, security, and maintenance. This used to be an 8-week course, and it's 6 weeks now. I have the online information for weeks 7 and 8 available to people that would like to have that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Course number 2 is From Pork to Plate with Jamie Horbach. He was not able to be with us today, so I am just announcing the course. This will be online with Zoom for 1 week. And it will be Monday, September 15th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And Carol, you're up.
Thank you. I'm Carol Veldman Rudy, and I'm offering course number 3 entitled Shape Shifters, Geometry in Art. The course dates very simply Monday, September 22 from 11 to 12:30, and it will be on Zoom. So I'm sure that we've all stood in front of a piece of art and been really baffled. There's just a few lines that we can see, some squares, a color, curlicue, maybe some circles, and that's about it. And we say to ourselves, and maybe even to our friends, what makes this worth hanging on a wall? I could do this. My grandkids could do this. Why is this art? Well, that's a great question. And that's a question we're going to explore in this class on the importance of geometry in art. We're going to explore how artists think in terms of forms and shapes and colors, just as many of us think in terms of words or perhaps numbers or perhaps dimensions. And all of this is going to help us, I think, appreciate the artistic vocabulary much more than we might originally do. Now, because of where I come from, of course, the Museum of Russian Art, we're going to look and study this dimension to artistic work as it appears in early 20th century Russian, Ukrainian, and Soviet art, because there's a rich history of this kind of art during that particular period of time in the Western world, but also in the space that I just described. So hopefully, if you join me in this exploration, you will learn something about the language of art. It will become more meaningful, and we'll also see a bit of history unfolding as well. So join this little window of opportunity on an important period of art history, and I hope to see you on September 22. Thanks.
My name's Peter Halleck. I'm talking about course number 4, an Ames history timeline to 1940, which is being offered online only on at 11 a.m. on 4 consecutive Mondays, starting September 24th through October 20th. Now, most folks here have probably heard at least some facts about the founding of Ames and its early years. Unfortunately, for most people, those facts are few and far between and really too disconnected to really understand the narrative of Ames development. The truth is that there were many events happening almost every year, and that all of those contribute to Ames' growth and success. In this class, we will go year by year talking about what happened, what's happening in Ames up to and until about World War II, and that will help folks to have a better understanding of how things fit together and how they build upon each other, moving us toward the modern Ames. So I hope that you'll join us for this 4-week class, and I thank you all for participating in this preview.
I'm Mike Coview, and I'll be teaching course number 5, which is online only, Fantasy Sports, a channel for fanaticism. I omitted from my biographical statement that I'm a founding member of a rotisserie baseball league, the Almost All Iowa Rotisserie League. We changed the name when some of our members moved out of Iowa, which started in 1987 and is still operating this season. Rotisserie baseball is a name for a version of fantasy baseball named for La Rotisserie, a now defunct restaurant in New York City in which the first such league was started. I also played fantasy football for 2 seasons. To be clear, the fantasy sports we'll be talking about are competitions based upon the actual performance of real athletes who've been selected or drafted by the owners of fantasy teams. We'll explore the variety of fantasy sports games, as well as the history and development of a phenomenon which likely now engages as many as 50 million Americans and as many as 1 billion players worldwide. And we'll explore questions such as how do fantasy sports work? What sports have spawned fantasy versions? Are fantasy sports games of skill or chance, which turns out to be a really significant legal question? And why is a fantasy draft day a highlight of the year for many fantasy participants? It probably would be appropriate to acknowledge that this is a course about fantasy sports, not a fantasy sports competition in the guise of an OLLI course. We will not be playing fantasy sports, just learning about it.
Okay, I'm Steve Wilson, and I'm teaching course number 6, Proportional Representation in the United States. It's online with Zoom for 3 weeks on Mondays from October 6th to October 20 at 1 to 2:30. Proportional representation is a term describing certain voting methods used to elect representatives to an assembly, like a parliament or a House of Representatives. For example, in the US Constitution, the number of representatives for each state should be proportional to the population of the state. It sounds simple. The bigger the population, the more representatives. But the method of doing the math has changed many times in the US, and different countries use different methods, as will be described in this course. Moreover, since the writing of the US Constitution, the role of political parties has grown greatly. Now one can argue that if a political party gets, say, 40% of the votes in the state, then the party should get 40% of the seats in the assembly of that state. This is proportional representation for party vote, not population. If there's a pure proportional representation for party votes, then gerrymandering becomes moot. Where in the state you live is irrelevant to the impact of your vote. So it makes a big difference. I got very interested in the topic when I learned that most Western democracies have election systems that ensure some degree of proportional representation for political parties. Countries as diverse as Spain, Israel, Ireland, Germany, Hungary, Argentina, Turkey, Finland. Each of these countries has its own method for ensuring proportional representation for parties. This course will look at proportional representation all around the world and how the methods would work if used in the United States. Thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon. My name is Chuck Achter. I'm teaching course number 7, The Unsung Heroes of the Civil Rights Movement. It's offered for 3 weeks on Monday on Zoom only, September 15th, 22nd, and 29th from 3 o'clock until 4:30. I grew up in the 1950s and 1960s in a small Midwestern town. I really had no idea what was happening in the civil rights movement. Once I grew up, and I had heard about Martin Luther King, but once I grew up, it led me to really want to do a history search on what the civil rights movement was really all about. During that search, I learned about people like Septima Clark, Miles Horton, Fannie Lou Hammer, Fred Shuttlesworth, Esau Jenkins, and many, many more. And I want to share that with you. We'll look at the leaders that most of us have never heard about and what they did to change the Jim Crow laws in the southern part of the United States. And they helped get, because of that, they helped get the Civil Rights Bill passed and the Voting Rights Bill passed. Please join us. We'll take a walk through the 50s and 60s to see what did happen actually behind the scenes in the civil rights movement. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jim Christensen, and I'm teaching class number 8. It is, and it's very small on my screen, Exploring Space Frontiers. It's held on Tuesdays from 9 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. It will be both online and in person and online from 9 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. In this class, space is about as exciting as anything I can think of. It's just fascinating, and many of us have seen this history unfold right in front of us. So for this class, these 3 sessions, I've broken the 3 sessions into answering 5 big questions. In week 1, we're going to talk about how did we get to the moon and how do we intend to return. In week 2, we're going to discuss, getting behind myself. In week 2, we're going to discuss how did NASA seek to make spaceflight ordinary. And in week 3, we're going to talk about how are people making money from space and how can we inspire the next generation of space explorers and entrepreneurs. That pretty much sums up my work as Director of Education at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex and as Chief Innovation Officer with the Aldrin Family Foundation. I'm honored to be a part of this really great group of instructors and looking forward to doing this. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
And Ron Palumbo, you're
Hi.
next.
Right. Hi, I'm Ron Palumbo, and I'll be offering course number 9, a single session in-person class that describes the top 5 infectious diseases. Even though historically speaking, it is no longer the global scourge it was for millennia, the greatest killer of all these diseases was also the most infectious, smallpox. The number 2 spot goes to tuberculosis, which remains a deadly disease in the third world, largely because it is so easily airborne. Now, despite the availability of effective treatments for more than a century, malaria is still a common health threat in tropical zones. The Black Death, now known to be bubonic plague, remains the deadliest plague in world history. It is believed to have killed about half the population of Asia and Europe during 7 years in the 14th century. Last on our list is the global influenza epidemic of 1918, known as the Spanish flu, which is estimated to have killed 50 million people in little over a year. For a fuller picture of the causes of these killers and the tolls they have taken, please join me at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, October 15th for OLLI class number 9, Infectious Diseases. I'm still Ron Palumbo, and I'm also doing OLLI class number 10, Why We Snore. Again, a single session in-person PowerPoint presentation. Now, snoring can be anything from an occasional annoyance to a chronic problem. It is a common symptom of most sleep disorders, ranging from simple insomnia through sleep deprivation and restless leg syndrome to obstructive sleep apnea. These disorders may be related to factors such as the anatomy of one's mouth, sleep position, sleep deprivation, or alcohol consumption. Typically, help begins with developing a healthy sleep routine. Treatment for the most serious of these conditions, called obstructive sleep apnea, usually requires medical intervention because it carries with it the risk of developing other health problems, such as high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, impotence, and memory problems. For more on this subject, join me at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, October 21st for OLLI class number 10, Why We Snore. Thank you for your attention.
Almost fell asleep. I'm Tom Barton, and I'm teaching class number 11 Tuesdays for 3 weeks, starting on September the 16th at 11 a.m. In a nutshell, I think I would tell you about this class is if you've thought about learning a musical instrument, but you thought that that was actually unlikely because you don't have any musical background, you want to sing while you play, and only the drummers in your high school band could do that. And you heard that musical instruments are really very expensive and they tend to be large and cumbersome to transport. I have your answer to all of these concerns and perhaps others. Sign up for OLLI's beginning ukulele course and beg, borrow, steal, or actually purchase a ukulele from eBay or Craigslist or Ryman's Music here on Main Street for about $60, maybe even less would be just fine. Don't worry about not knowing anything about music or music theory, because I'm going to teach you everything you need to really know about that in the first 45 minutes of class. In fact, during those minutes, I will also teach you a way to play the ukulele without knowing how to read music. After the 3 lessons over 2 weeks, you're going to know whether this is for you or not. And I'm really looking forward to working with you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ethan Atwell. I'm the Outreach and National History Day in Iowa coordinator for the State Historical Society. The course ID is 12 and it's titled State Historical Society of Iowa Overview. It's a 4-week course starting Tuesday, September 30th and ending October 21st from 11 a.m. to 12:30 on those days, and it will be virtual via Zoom. So at the State Historical Society of Iowa, our mission is to preserve, interpret, and share Iowa's history. As being part of this course, you will get the chance to learn how we do that here at the State Historical Society through our educational programs, our museum building, our library and archives collection, and our historical sites throughout the state. Each of our 4 classes will feature one of our organizational experts with me to talk us through how each part fulfills our mission, serves Iowans, and makes resources for you to access. You won't have any homework with this course. You'll just get to learn a lot. But I promise that you will learn a lot about our State Historical Society of Iowa and maybe get some anecdotes about different parts of Iowa history. Thank you, and I hope you join us.
This is Sam Wormley. I'm teaching course number 13, Photography Tips and Techniques. This is 6 Tuesday mornings, Tuesday afternoons. This is 6 Tuesday afternoons from September 16 through the 21st of October. Creating a photographic image, perhaps to share an event in your lives, or to make a statement expressing your ideals and your values, or just creating art. The basic principles of photography are the same, whether you're using an old Brownie film camera, $1,000 worth of DSLR camera with telephoto lenses, tripods, and even lighting equipment, or the excellent cameras on our cell phones. In fact, most people these days do photography with iPhones and Androids. No matter what you use, this course is designed to help you achieve your photographic goals and improve your photography. We will address what you want to learn. Additionally, we will cover cell phone camera basics, DSLR camera basics if warranted, composition, lighting, post-image processing, backup sharing and printing, and we're going to finish the 6 weeks by ways to challenge yourself as you move into the future. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Franz. My course is number 14, and the title is Discovering Outdoor Delights, Tramp New Zealand's Tracks. It will be offered as a one-time course, Tuesday, October 7th, from 3 to 4:30. It's available hybrid, either with Zoom or in person at the 60 Forward Center in Ames. I love to go a-wandering along a mountain track, and as I go, I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Valdoree, Valdora, Valdoree, Valdora, Valdoree, Valdora, my knapsack on my back. Thanks for singing along, Sam. I invite you to wander with me on a hiking trip, also known as a tramping trip, to New Zealand's southern island. We'll have a sweet as time, also known as awesome time, looking at the topography and landscapes of the southern island, the variety of lodging and food I was able to exhibit, a little bit about the New Zealand culture and its people. And then more importantly, people are asking, well, what is your itinerary and who did you go with and what did you see and where did you hike? So we'll take a look at that. And also because I love the out of doors, I'll be sharing some things about nature, some things as travel tips, and then we're going to get a chance to Kiwi speak. So good on you for registering for this course. I hope to see you there.
Hi, I'm Martha Johnson, and I will be teaching course number 15, which is called Labyrinth Coffee, the Ames Example of a Social Enterprise. We will be holding the class, it's just one session, on October 14th from 3 to 4:30, and it will be live at the Labyrinth Coffee Shop, which is at 159 Sheldon Avenue here in Ames. For over 50 years, various American businesses have experimented with ways to be responsive to social needs. I was privileged during my career to work at some of those organizations, including Cummins Engine Company and Ben & Jerry's, and soak up their ethos. I bring that perspective to the story I'm delighted to share of Labyrinth Coffee, which is the only social enterprise coffee shop in Ames, founded a year ago and housed at Collegiate Presbyterian Church. The enterprise is committed to dedicating its profits towards social good instead of towards wealth creation. This happens in a number of ways. We do not accept tips, but suggest a donation instead to a charity. And to date, we have donated a total of $6,500 to Food at First, Ames School Lunch Heroes, and more. We focus on sustainable practices, particularly focus on community building, living wages, as well as very, very, very good coffee and a menu of items prepared in-house. I welcome you to the class, which will be held at the coffee shop. Come learn our story of Labyrinth Coffee and some of the history behind the social enterprise movement. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Phyllis Light sends her regrets that she could not be with us today, but she is again going to offer an authentic Italian home cooking class. This time we'll be talking about Christmas Eve dinners. So please join us for 1 week on Zoom on Tuesday, October 21st. And I believe we have some friends who really like to play pickleball with us here today. Are you there?
Yes. Hi, OLLI learners. I'm John Anderson, president of the Ames Pickleball Club.
And I'm Sue Cunningham, club secretary. We are here to promote Learn to Play Pickleball, course number 17.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America. It's a sport that can be played by all ages and at all skill levels and in all kinds of weather, sunny days outdoors and cold winter days on indoor courts.
The Ames Pickleball Club is partnering with OLLI to offer a beginner's class in pickleball on Tuesdays for 3 weeks from September 16th through October 7th at the Harvest Pickleball and Tennis in South Ames from 5:30 to 7 p.m. as John and I are here right now.
In this class, we will have experienced players teach you the basics of pickleball, everything from serving and scoring to volleying and dinking. Yes, dinking.
We will cover everything from rules, scoring, equipment, how to play, and we'll even provide paddles and balls. Our emphasis will focus very strongly on safety, and participants should be able to move freely and not be afraid of falling.
We hope you will join us on the courts to learn this great game. Happy people play pickleball. And thank you to Merle Brendelin, who took the lead on this initiative on behalf of the Ames Pickleball Club as the course facilitator. It's truly a sport for everyone. See you on the courts.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue and John. This is Sam Wormley. I'm teaching the next 3 classes, 18, 19, and 20, and they're all quite different from each other. OLLI course number 18 is titled Simplifying Physics, the Principle of Least Action. We have 4 Wednesdays, September 17th through October 8th at 9 in the morning. The principle of least action has a profound influence across the major areas of physics by providing a unifying fundamental framework for deriving physical law. Our 4 weeks together will test my skills in communicating the principle and its application to various fields of physics, such as classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, field theory, and relativity, and using language for the common person, so that you can appreciate the work of many mathematicians and physicists that they've achieved and helping us to better understand the underlying principles of reality and why some things are the way they are in our everyday lives. Thank you. Course number 19 complements Ron Palumbo's snoring class. It's titled, "Oh Sleep, It Is a Gentle Thing." It's one class on Wednesday, October 15th at 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, I'm from The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, the text of 1834 by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, starting with part 5. O sleep, it is a gentle thing, beloved from pole to pole. To Mary Queen the praise be given. She sent the gentle sleep from heaven that slid into my soul. Most of us have some difficulties with sleeping. Together we will explore why sleep is necessary, monitoring sleep, problems sleeping, and possible sleep problem solutions for insomnia, sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and we'll answer your questions. Thank you. Course number 20, Bathed in Radiation. This is also a one-day class on Wednesday, October 22nd at 9 in the morning. Many of us are aware of the radiation from dental x-rays, medical procedures, and we've heard of extra radiation from flying at high altitudes, especially along polar routes. What is normal and what is not? I often preach that an experiment is worth 1,000 expert opinions. To that end, I have invested in my own radiation detector, educated myself about the radiation around me, and am sharing what I've learned in this OLLI class. We are bathed in radiation all around us, from the cell towers, our electronics, lightning, radioactivity, our sun, stars, galaxy, and even the afterglow of the Big Bang. This course helps you to understand and appreciate what is normal, what is harmless, and when you should be concerned. Together we will explore what radiation is, background radiation sources in the context of a warming planet, ionizing radiation, solar radiation, and what can be learned from a gamma ray scintillator. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And now I'm going to take a little commercial break. Not a commercial break, but no, one of our sponsors is with us today, and we want to give him a few moments to speak. Luke, are you readily available?
I am doing about 4 things at once, but I'm here. So every time I get on these, I'm excited for everyone who's going to take part in these, because I want to be I want to be a member, and I need to do that, to be honest with you. So there's some really cool opportunities. I am with Northridge Village. It's an honor to support the OLLI part of the organization, and we've had a blast doing that. Last year we were able to, or earlier this year, we were able to host a class, which was great. And then just a little bit of information on us. We're a senior living community. Our mission is purpose, passion, joy in life, and that's kind of our goal to do with our residents and our staff. But I think one of my advertising tags lately has been Northridge Village is a place you can get older, but growing up is optional. So we like to have a good time. Every retirement community has a culture and almost a personality. And I think we're pretty playful. We like to have a good time while bringing in a lot of what you're doing, this kind of stuff, bringing in speakers to present and things like that. It's just a great family community, to be honest. I'd encourage you to come check us out. Feel free to schedule time with me. Would love to meet you. My other piece of advice is start the process of research early. Wait lists can be very long, depending on where you're looking and what you're looking to do. And I'd also encourage you that senior living, retirement living is not like it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. Especially coming from a small town, I knew of nursing homes. Things are completely different now. It's not an easy decision for very many people, but it is a great option, when the time comes. I think we'd love to be part of the research process with you. We do have independent living. We have assisted living. We have healthcare, which incorporates long-term or nursing home care, but also skilled therapy. So if you break a hip and need therapy for a few weeks and go home, we do that here. And then we do have memory care as well. So that's us.
Thank you so much, Luke. We are so appreciative of everything Northridge does for OLLI, and we
Thanks.
really cherish the partnership with you.
It's an honor. I love it.
Okay, so we will resume with class number 21. Doug Biggs, are you ready?
Am I on?
There you are. We can hear you.
Okay, good deal. Hi, everybody. My name is Doug Biggs, and I am teaching class 21, Medieval England, from the Norman Conquest to the Battle of Bosworth, the end of the Middle Ages, quote unquote, in or 1066 to 1485. This will run for 6 weeks, every Wednesday for those 6 weeks, from September 17th to October 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 12:30. It will be in person at the Alumni Center and also online. What we're going to talk about for those 6 weeks is a relatively in-depth dive into the politics of the period. We'll talk a lot about war. We'll talk a lot about kingship. We'll talk a lot about royal families and noble families. We'll talk a lot about, when we get to it, the bubonic plague in the 14th century. We'll talk a lot about religion because, of course, in the medieval period, the church is an incredibly important component, both politically as well as religiously. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it, and we'll learn some things before we're done, and we'll see a whole bunch of really beautiful pictures, some of them mine, about various castles and cathedrals and places that you may want to go visit after you take this class. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug. And Phil, are you there? I think I saw you on the list, Phil. If you would like to unmute. Well, Phil was going to talk a little bit about the next class, number 22, the invasive plant species of Iowa. This will be offered, hold on, let me find my notes, sorry, as a hybrid at the ISU Alumni Center and online. And this will be on Wednesdays for 4 weeks, starting September 17th from 1 to 2:30 in the afternoon. And he may be having some, oh, are you there, Phil? I see you're unmuted.
Maybe he's got his goat.
No, we can't hear you, Phil. So we will go ahead and move on to class 23. Ramona, are you there?
Hi, my name is Ramona Lucius, and I'm teaching Before You Donate, a hybrid course number 23, P and Z, on Wednesday, October 15th from 1 to 2:30 at the Alumni Center. As we approach the holidays, you'll probably be approached by groups asking for financial contributions. If you're not familiar with the group, how can you determine whether your donation will be well used? We'll start by listing criteria for researching a charity, then examine reliable online sources of information, as well as a few old school suggestions. Thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you soon.
Oh, that was short and sweet. I almost missed my spot. Thanks, Ramona. The next course will be number 24. Where on earth is the U.S. and are we in the top 10? This will be with Doug Stowell. He was not able to be with us today. It will be a 1-week class offered on Wednesday, October 22nd from 1 to 2:30 online only. And I will hand it off to Leroy.
Hi, I'm Leroy Kester. If you enjoy learning while exploring the outdoors, you may consider my course, Smartphone Geocaching, a fun outdoor recreational activity. It is listed as course number 25P and 25Z as it's a hybrid course. We will meet in the ISU Alumni Center in the Horton Room for the in-person portion. This is a 2-week course which meets on Wednesday, September 24th. We skip a week and then come back on October 8th. So no class on October 1. We meet at 3 o'clock and the course runs until 4:30 for each of the sessions. This year is the 25th anniversary of the end of selective availability of GPS satellite signals, which led to the beginning of geocaching the same year. Thus, I'm wearing my 25th anniversary t-shirt. So 25 years of geocaching. Geocaching is an easy recreational hobby that you can enjoy near your home or while you travel. Geocaching is a modern variation of hide and seek. It combines GPS technology and people who hide containers of various sizes for others to find. Participants in the course will learn the basics of geocaching. What is a geocache, of which there are thousands around the world, and we'll learn the different types of geocaches. We'll give you a little bit of history of GPS and navigation systems that preceded GPS and the geocaching equipment that you may carry with you besides your smartphone. We'll also learn how to set up a free geocaching account, and most importantly, how to enjoy and learn from geocaching. Between the two classes, you'll be encouraged to get out and find a few geocaches. So again, I invite you to charge up your phone. Join us for this class titled Smartphone Geocaching, course number 25P or 25Z, September 24, October 8, 3 o'clock. Hope to see you.
Heather, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Phil.
Okay, I warned you before that I am deaf, so that I miss things. But I know now you want to talk to me, and I'm not really ready for it, but I can give you a description of what I'm going to do.
Sure, if you can give us just a quick 90-second description, that would be great. And then
Okay.
Karen, you'll be next.
I attended a conference on the invasive species of Iowa, and at Lake at Moravia, Iowa, and I just became intoxicated with the subject and have been studying it ever since. And I will have, my main instructor will be Aaron Steele, who has the course Goats on the Go. His goats go around central Iowa or wherever and try to eat up all the invasive plants. And he was one of the main presenters at that conference at Moravia. So he's got a long history. My history, I remembered, goes way back up in northern Minnesota, where I was on my grandparents' farm in the summers, and I helped them one time pull yellow mustard from one of the fields, and my grandpa gave me a quarter. So I've been paid for my work. And then we went and collected potato bugs in the garden. So so I don't have my dates, or you can provide those. And Aaron and I are in constant contact. It will be interesting. That's what I've got to say. Now I don't hear your voice, but you got it. Okay.
Thank you so much, Phil. And again, that class is on Wednesdays, September 17th through October 8th at 1 o'clock as a hybrid. Okay, Karen, you're up.
Hi, my name is Karen Bates, and I'll be teaching number 26, Beginning Native American Style Flute, emphasis on the word beginning. This class will meet on Wednesdays beginning September 24th from 3 to 4:30. And I'm thrilled to report that we're going to be able to meet for 6 weeks instead of 4 weeks as we have in the past. Previous students have often said that they wish the class was longer, so it will be longer this fall. So in the description, it says you'll need a little individual mini lesson with me before the class starts, and you won't need that. Everyone will start at the same time with the same information. This is going to be great. You don't need to know anything about musical experience, how to read music, or anything like that in order to play the Native American flute. Isn't that great? They're easy to learn and they're just so enjoyable to play. You will need to obtain an A minor flute for this class, and I'm also happy to share that we were able to buy 13 A minor flutes. Wonderful flutes with a beautiful sound, and they each come with a bag. And we're able to get those for the bag and the flute for $100, which is an amazing price. Or you can buy a flute yourself online. It just needs to be an A minor. We will be using an ebook for this course, another good deal for $23 when the usual price is $99. And you'll have this course forever, so you'll always be able to turn to it and use it. This class is going to give you a good start to playing one of these beautiful instruments, and then you can join our Ames Flute Circle where we meet monthly, and this will help you continue on your flute journey. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Karen. The next class is number 27, Strengthening Our Community with AARP Iowa. Michael Wagler was not able to be here with us today. This is one of the courses that had a change that I mentioned earlier. It will now be online only due to a conflict in his schedule. But we hope you can join us online for this one-week course on Wednesday, October 15th, starting at 3 o'clock. And I don't believe Ina is with us for the next.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
she
here.
is. Wonderful.
Okay, I'm Ina Perel, and I'm teaching Navigating the Medical World in the 21st Century. And it will be offered, it's course number 28, and it will be offered in person on three Wednesdays, not Tuesdays, Wednesdays, on October 22nd, October 28th, and November 5th, 3 to 4:30. It's an in-person only class. When we think about life in the 21st century, two phrases often come to mind: information overload and insufficient time. Nowhere are they more true than in the field of healthcare. Even the best medical practitioners can't keep up with every new discovery in their specialties. And for the rest of us, there's a flood of good, bad, or possibly even dangerous information on the internet, TV commercials, or whatever. So, meanwhile, the majority of doctor visits are scheduled at 15-minute intervals. And while computerized medical charts are long and very detailed, they can also contain incorrect or missing important information, either because there was a data entry error or because of the ever-present, but there's no field to enter this data in problem. What this means is that to get the best medical outcomes, patients must be active partners in their own medical care. They need to be concise, on topic, and most of all, know what questions to ask. In this class, we will talk about creating a personal medical family tree, how to prepare a written, gotta be written, relevant list of symptoms and everything else before any medical visit, how to evaluate online medical resources, and of course, those essential questions for before, during, and after a diagnosis. Finally, we will practice our skills on an imaginary disease that I have called spring fever. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope that I'll see you in class very soon.
Hello, my name is Michaela Hageman. I'll be teaching course number 29, which is titled Planting Pollinator Habitat for Monarchs. This will be a one-time course on Thursday, September 18th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. It is a hybrid course, so it's available both in person and online through Zoom. So I'm the program specialist for the Iowa Monarch Conservation Consortium here on Iowa State's campus. So I work with landowners and homeowners to help increase monarch and pollinator habitat throughout the state. So my course will be an interactive discussion about pollinators. We'll start with a group discussion to kind of learn about what you'd already know about pollinators, your thoughts and opinions on pollinators and prairie habitat, kind of figure out what different topics you want to dive into and explore further, and any general questions that you have. Based off this discussion, we'll have a short presentation to explore those areas that you showed interest in, explore those further. So this could include things like monarch biology, native plants, the proposed monarch listing decision, or pollinator garden design. And if we have time at the end, we'll conclude with a short pollinator garden design workshop to help you learn how you can implement what we've discussed and how to incorporate native plants in your own yard. So pollinators and monarchs especially are really important. They provide a lot of important ecological services, and a lot of people have personal connections with monarchs and pollinators. So they're a really great way to get people involved in conservation. And so I hope you will join us to learn more about them. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. Max McElwain could not be with us today, but he'll be teaching course 30, The Only Dance in Iowa, A History of Six-Player Girls Basketball. This will be 2 weeks on Thursdays, September 25th and October 2nd from 9 to 10:30 in the morning, and it will be online only. And Ning Chiao will teach course 31, Russia's Large Territory in Asia, A History Review of the Russian Imperial Expansion. This will also be online only. And 1 week on Thursdays that are October 9th. Sorry. 1 week on Thursday, October 9th for the class about Russia's large territory in Asia. And up next, I believe, is Gail Prince. Are you still with us, Gail?
I'm with you. And I will be teaching course number 32 on counterfeit consumer goods and health concerns. And this will be on October 16 and 23 at 9 a.m. And we've scheduled this course earlier, and I think we were a one-day presentation at that point, and we've extended it because of the information into a two-day course. It is estimated about 20% of the consumer goods in the marketplace may be counterfeit. And this continues to grow, from the standpoint of products, it may be reported that is not what the product is labeled at. And one of the big common items is women's purses, with name brands being sold at a cut rate, and they may not actually reflect the label that may be on the particular product. And while this may be an economic impact to your particular budget, there are other things that are far more serious that can be impacted to your health and risk to your family when they may not contain the ingredients proposed in the particular product. Or right at the present time, there is a concern with counterfeit weight loss drugs that one woman just recently was arrested for making these injectables in her home kitchen. And there was just another case involving about $5 million of these particular drugs being picked up in a raid not too far away from where I'm sitting at the moment. But there may be in pharmaceutical items, it may be in clothing items, it may be in children's toys, electrical appliances, and the list goes on, including even cosmetics. And this is due to the shift in our way that we buy products these days, many times over the internet. And so this opens up a big opportunity. So this course will give you an oversight of what you may be exposed to in your own home, and we'll give you some tips on how to avoid this in the future. And so this course is on October 16th and 23rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. The next course is number 33. It is offered as a hybrid, and this is our ever popular What in the World course with Jeff Schrader. He will once again be joining us for 3 weeks on Thursdays, September 18th through October 2nd from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And I did say this is a hybrid. In person, we will gather together at 60 Forward, and we will have our online Zoom link open for our friends who live a distance away. And then the course after that is number 34. Again, this is with Ning Chia. The name of the course is The Mongol Empire in World History and the Mongols Today. This is a 1-week course on Thursday, October 9th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and it will be online only as well. And Mike Coview, you are up next.
Yep. As Heather said, I'm Mike Coview again, and I will be teaching course number 35, sabermetrics. Simply put, sabermetrics is the application of analytical statistical methods to baseball. The point is to improve the ability to evaluate the performance of players and specifically the impact that performance is likely to have on team performance. Although the term sabermetrics is derived from the acronym SABRE for the Society for American Baseball Research, the use of the term has spread to other sports, including football, soccer, and cricket, and well beyond sports to other fields, including medicine and policing. We'll be talking about the origin and development of sabermetrics, including what traditional and familiar baseball statistics have been enhanced or supplanted with new measures. We'll spend some time talking about why the sport, baseball, that may be most immersed of all in statistics, long resisted and now has largely accepted new measures of performance. And we'll talk about the adaptation of the attitudes underlying sabermetrics to other sports and beyond athletics. A minor addendum to my biographical statement is that I have always regretted that when I was teaching statistics over 50 years ago, I did not have occasion to integrate statistics related to sports, particularly baseball, but also into other sports, into the courses I taught. So maybe teaching this course is a fulfillment of a 50-year wish. And I also want to note that while the course is about the application of statistical methods, no background in statistics is assumed. The course is going to be on for two Thursdays, October 16th and 23rd, from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and it's online only with Zoom.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, we could offer a 36th course for OLLI. There's a lot of science in the news. What do you think?
Did you say a 6-week course?
A 6-week course, sure.
Yeah, I think the first opening is like September 18th at 1 in the afternoon. We could do 6 weeks to October 30, from September 18th to October 23rd.
You think or you know?
Let's do it. Let's just do it.
Okay, well, we could talk about things like, if we were doing it right now, we could be talking about the meteor shower, the Perseid meteor shower right now, which, that was a Swift-Tuttle comet that we're passing through the dust particles. That only happens about once every 133 years for that comet, but annually we go through it.
Well, how about that? This course title, it's Science in the News, and that seems to fit.
Okay, well, we could end up going down on a number of rabbit holes, which would actually be easier than if we went in a black hole, because at least with a rabbit hole, we could get the information back out, share it.
Well, Mike, we really, we get excited about all this science in
you
the
get
news and
excited.
discussing it.
I just
Well,
listen to you.
you get excited too, and we want to share that excitement and have all the OLLI members that want to sign up for this course share those discussions with us every week.
And that's the point of this whole thing is we bring up some articles, some things that we've seen in that past week, and then we get the class members to help out and we just discuss it.
Do we have to tell them we're not experts?
We are not experts.
But we try to help each other, and we're going to try to help everybody in the class understand what's happening with these articles in the Science and the News.
Sounds good. Hope to see you there, folks.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Sam.
Well, I'm Jane Cox, and this is about class 37, which is titled Give 'em Hell, Harry. And it's both a P and a Z class, so you can take it, it'll be held in Green Hill, so you can take it in person or online. And it's a one-day course on Thursday, September the 18th from 3 to 4:30. And Give 'em Hell, Harry is obviously about Harry Truman. People used to holler that to him when he was on the back of a caboose talking to people in his across the continent train trips. And whenever anybody said, "Give him hell, Harry," his answer was always the same. And that was, "I don't give anybody hell. I just tell people the truth and they think they're in hell." So that was always his answer about giving people hell. So here we had somebody who came from a very common, ordinary kind of background. He looked pleasant all the time. He was almost always smiling. He was optimistic. And some people thought he wasn't very deep. And yet he wound up being ranked almost always in the top 10 of the best presidents of the United States. One time his nephew was asked to describe him, describe his uncle, and his nephew paused for a long time and then said, "He's complicated." So I hope you'll join me, and we'll be exploring all the achievements and all the problems faced by Harry Truman during his presidency, and learn about his childhood. And he certainly came up the hard way. So I hope you'll join me in learning a little bit about this complicated man who ranks very highly as one of our U.S. presidents today. And then I'm also teaching something now for something completely different, as I used to say. Course 38, and that'll be on Zoom, and that'll be on October 16th, and also from 3 to 4:30. And Memories of You is a song, of course, but this is not about music. People who tune into the OLLI programs probably were born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s. And so this is going to be about what childhood was like in each of those decades. What toys children at that time played with, what their parents were likely talking about, what it might be present in their homes to help them learn. So, for example, if you were born in the 30s, the early 30s, you probably had a Monopoly set and played Monopoly. If you were born in the 40s, you didn't have any metal toys during the first half of that decade because they were all being used for the war effort. And so the metal slinky didn't come out till 1945. And in the 50s, the toys exploded in terms of toys that are still played with and used today. So those are the memories of you we're talking about. And if you're interested in helping with the discussion too, and talking about what childhood was like in each of those decades, I hope you'll join me on October 16th for that particular course. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
This is Jim Patton. We're going to shift gears a little bit because we've had some requests for some field trips. Now, one of our issues about field trips is that they sometimes are too costly. And so we've eliminated using any bus transportation. And we're going to take these 2 field trips, locations that are close, that we can travel to easily. The first is going to be the Meskwaki settlement. I've driven by the Meskwaki settlement for well over 50 years. I grew up in Eastern Iowa, went to school at Iowa State, traveled Highway 30, but I was never there until about a year ago. And we're going to talk about the Meskwaki settlement, about why it's a settlement, not a reservation. We're going to be able to be in their museum and their library. We're going to have a lot of history included, and it's going to be presented by Jonathan Buffalo, who's a native of the Meskwaki settlement, educated at University of Iowa, has come back to head up their historical information. Now we're going to meet at 1 o'clock because we're going to pool car rides leave at 1:15. This is on October 3rd. We're going to have more information to get out to people who enroll. So it's important to enroll and get us your contact information early. We're going to be carpooling. We'll be leaving at 1:15, be back here hopefully by about 5. It'll be a small class, another reason to get enrolled early. We can only handle about 10 or 15. We will have signage where you exit Highway 30, and we'll make it as convenient and as adaptable as possible. I think you're going to be interested to know about the migration of the Meskwaki settlement, why they went to Kansas, why they're back. We're going to hear a little bit about the powwow. I've never been to the powwow yet. I hope to go sometime. How their current organization is structured as it deals with a casino. As I mentioned before, they have a wonderful museum. That's one of the things that really attracted me. And then a little more of detail about the settlement. Lots of time for questions and answers. So I want you to put October 3rd on your calendar. That would be in the afternoon. You need to be at the Alumni Center by 1 so we can leave at 1:15. And I will be in touch with most of you, hopefully all of you that enroll, to make sure we know how we're going to carpool. The second field trip will be the following week, October 10th. It'll be a little closer. We're going to go to Boone. And this one was brought to me by one of our class members who enjoys field trips like I do. And she said, "Do you know they make airplanes in Boone?" I didn't know, so I went over to check it out. And they have a small, I guess you'd call it a shop, where people can order their airplane kits and put them together so that they are structurally sound and can be air tested. They're done, the work is done by experts, retired technicians with the Army and Air Guard, and some other people that are well qualified. One of the highlights of that day will have hopefully have a chance to meet Keith Campbell, who's received national recognition for his constructing airplanes, but also flying, and constructing his most recent airplane in his 80s. That's 80 years of age. And hopefully he can join us that day. That'll be real fun. And before that afternoon is over, by the way, we'll meet there at 3. So before that afternoon is over, we're going to cross the street to the Boone Airport so you can see a little bit more about the services that they have to offer. They educate over 50 students a year in flying. They have a wonderful shop for maintenance. They took an airport that was almost ready to close because it hadn't been well maintained and been brought back to life. So October 10th will be our field trip to the Boone Airport and the WC Aircraft Manufacturing. And we would, again, a small class. We'd like to have you enroll right away, and we'll be in touch so we know for sure how we're going to get there and coordinate our efforts together. October 3rd, the Meskwaki Settlement. October 10th, the Boone Airport, and WC Aircraft Company. I hope if you have interest in either of those things, you'll join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, that takes us to the end of the numbered courses. And now I'd like to take a few minutes to let you know about the OLLI Talk programs that we offer, formerly known as Members Only Lectures. These are free to all OLLI at ISU members as part of your benefits package. And Friday before each of these lectures, I will send you an email with a link on how to attend them. Of course, you can always find them on our website as well. And these will all be from 3 o'clock to 4:30 p.m. on the days that they are scheduled. So the first one is scheduled for Wednesday, September 17th. Sarah Carmichael from the Story County Conservation Office will offer a presentation on the Prairie Valley wetland, the ins and outs. Now, this will be a hybrid event. We will be in the ISU Alumni Center and online for that one. The second one is actually going to be on a Thursday. This will be September 25th, and it is All Things Iowa State Athletics with Jamie Pollard. This will also be a joint program with the ISU Retirees Association. both groups had interest in hearing about what's going on, not only with the athletics, but also what's going on at the Sighttown construction that is all happening. And so we decided to offer this one together. We will gather at Green Hills in person, and then of course we will have the Zoom link open for those who need to attend online. And the last OLLI talk for the fall term is Evolving from Edisonian, the Imperative Modeling with Rick Arthur. This will be on Wednesday, October 1st, and we will be at the Alumni Center and online for that. And so that kind of wraps up everything that all the other people are offering during the fall term. But I also wanted to let you know that due to all the changes that OLLI is going through this year, in an effort to keep everyone updated on that and the general information about OLLI at ISU and the National OLLI Network and the Bernard Osher Foundation, I've decided to take one open class period each term to offer a class on information that I think you all would want to know or need to know, or just general Q&A sessions so that we can have a touch point together. This will be free to everybody. You do not need to be an OLLI member to come to this. Anyone who wants to know anything can come. And the first one I'm going to offer is on Tuesday, September 16th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And this will be hybrid, so I'll be in person at 60 Forward and I will have Zoom open. And these will be listed in the registration form as Let's Talk OLLI. And the OLLI talks will also be in the registration form, even though there's no dollar amount. This way, it will still let us know who's coming and how many we have. And if we need to go online only, or if we need more space, we can figure something out. So please make sure to include those in your course registrations, even though there is no dollar amount to attend Let's Talk OLLI or the OLLI Talks. And another thing I want to let you know about is there is a, do I call it an initiative? I don't know, a trend, something like that, in the National OLLI Network where OLLIs are starting to offer courses together, meaning we will offer a class and invite members from other OLLIs to join us as well. So the first example of this is our Science in the News course that we're having this fall. Thank you to Sam and Mike Metz for opening this up for us. Sam regularly teaches for OLLI at ISU and for OLLI at Drake. And so we decided it would be kind of fun to try and see how it would work to offer our class together, since Sam teaches the same kind of thing, both of us. So both OLLIs will offer the course in their own catalogs and handle their own registrations. And then since we are the host OLLI for this course, we will host the Zoom meeting for everybody. So it's kind of a fun collaboration thing to get our toes wet with, to see if we can find other things we can do with our other OLLI members across the nation. And the other one that is happening relatively quickly, and we have a guest here with us today who is from the OLLI at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. We had an instructor who proposed a course to both of our groups, and we reached out to each other for references and decided, you know what, why don't we offer this together? So that course is called Modern Retirement Planning. You may remember seeing it in an email I sent you earlier this week. Registration for that course is already open. So you can go out to that link that was in that email, or if you don't remember what you did with that email, just call me, shoot me an email, and I'll send it to you again. But you can register for that, and we will join them on, let's see, for 4 weeks. And that will start August 28th, and it's at 9 o'clock in the morning. And that is, again, is called Modern Retirement Planning. So we hope you'll join us as we start to open up our boundaries, I guess, so to speak, as we look for opportunities to expand our OLLI network. And finally, I want to thank our sponsors, Green Hills and Northridge Village, for sponsoring OLLI at ISU again this year. Without our sponsors and our volunteers and our volunteer instructors, we don't have a program to offer. And as you can tell from everything we've talked about today, there's a little something for everybody. I can almost guarantee it. And without our instructors and our volunteers and our sponsors, this isn't possible. So thank you. And with that, let's go ahead and open it up for Q&A. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Jim.
I forgot to mention, some of our OLLI members have been asking about the golf cart tours around Ada Hayden Lake. We are having them again this year. There's no cost, and they will be September 10th and 11th. These are approximately an hour and a half golf cart tours. And even though there's construction going on at Ada Hayden Lake, we were able to have the tours, and we'll have more information ready for our September newsletter. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else? Feel free to unmute and ask questions, or you can use the chat function.
Oh, shoot. Somebody's at my door.
Okay.
What is the what are the dates for number 21?
Number 21. Wednesday, September 17th through October 22nd.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay, take my class.
No, take my class.
I have a question for Sam. Sam.
Yes.
Sam, do you have to know anything about science to take science in the news?
No, you just have to be interested.
Okay, thanks.
We're going to try, you know, if it's scientific lingo, whatever, we're going to try to translate that into language that we can all understand.
Very good.
You
Sounds
know,
great.
Mike, you do understand that for the rest of us, you and Sam are not necessarily in the same perspective that looks like on your screen. So for me, it looked like you were looking directly away from Sam when you were when you started to talk to him.
I know, Mike, it's funny because we've switched places twice, and I keep looking this way or that way to see the screen. And he's actually in the next one where Heather is sitting for you.
Okay, do we have any other questions about the courses or the OLLI talks or the field trips?
Okay, you talked about this at 60 Forward at the beginning of the month, but I want to clarify it for myself, but I suspect there are people here who don't know. If we have registered for a membership for the coming year already, do we still need to create an account with, I forget the name of it, registration online or whatever, to register for the courses? But we should be allowed to register because we're already members. Is that right?
That is a great question, and I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. Kind of feels like you're setting me up for what I needed to talk about. So we do have a new registration program because of the move that OLLI made this summer. We are partnering with ISU Registration Services. And so I had sent you an email that you need to pay for your membership now. You can't pay for your membership along with the registration form anymore. And the reason for that is so that they can ensure that you are a member before you register for courses. And so if you go ahead out to their website via the link that I sent you, if you can't find it, don't worry, just email me and I'll send it to you again. Or you can go to our website and go to the membership page, and that will take you there as well. If you do not have an account with ISU Registration Services, you will need to create one and then fill out the membership form. Once that's done and your membership is processed, to register for courses, you'll go to our website, click the link, it'll take you to their site, to the registration page. You sign in because you already have an account. So you'll sign in and then just pick what courses you want and pay, and you're all set.
Okay, that still leaves part of my question unanswered.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about if we already paid for the next year's membership, but it would have been through the old system?
Perfect. I just emailed everyone this morning who did that. If you already paid in the old system, I have a promo code that I will send you that you can use to clear out the charges when you enter into the new system for membership. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I had a little bit of trouble because I had registered for other meetings at ISU many years ago. And so when I think I registered the new way because I just did it last night. And I didn't use the promo code. But it was like giving me 3 different versions of my name, you know.
Yes,
Elizabeth.
if you already had an account with them because of other things you've done with ISU, you don't need to make a new account. All you'll need to do is sign in and find the OLLI membership form to fill. Betty, I'll make sure yours came through and that we're all good for you, okay?
I have a question for Betty.
Yeah.
If that system has 3 different versions of your name, why were you using aliases?
No, and you know, Ollie set me up finally as Betty, but that's not legal. My legal is Elizabeth. So some of that could go back to grad school, you know, 50 years ago. I don't know. But anyway, it took something. It took my $35, but I was going to register Tom and I couldn't. Now, he may not take classes, just, you know, doing the teaching, but I would have done him too, but I couldn't. They wouldn't recognize his email from my computer, you know.
Okay. I will get in touch with you after this, Betty, and we'll make sure we get that taken care of, okay?
Yeah. I think I'm registered, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Tom does the ukulele classes, in fact, teaches them. I bet he'd like to take some photography too.
Well, yeah, I've suggested things before, but okay. Right.
Okay. Any other questions about the things we covered today or you're wondering about?
Heather, I'm wondering about the parking situation around the Alumni Center. Has that changed in the past couple months?
Not that I'm aware of. I believe it's still
Okay.
open parking.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't know if you mentioned it or not, Heather, but you did I think you did mention it during the meeting at the coffee at 60 Forward, that I think you said that you've been trying to be careful to be sure that any location where in-person classes are offered does have adequate parking.
Yes, that is one of the things I strive to do is make sure that there's accessible parking for members wherever we have classes. Where my office moved this last summer, we don't have parking available, or open parking, I should say. The parking we do have is reserved. I do have a pass that you could use, but it's still quite a distance to walk to the office. So if you want to come see me or need to come see me, email or call me first so we can make arrangements for that. Otherwise, all classes will be held off-site at different locations throughout Ames. And the coffee that Mike is talking about, he's brought it up a couple times, so I thought I would just put a little plug for it. It's our social coffee we have the first Friday of every month. It's at 9 o'clock in the morning at 60 Forward here in Ames. So we are trying to get a virtual one put together for our friends who live a distance away, but I haven't been able to get much traction on that because of other things I'm dealing with right now. But once we have those little fires put out, that will be one of my other focuses to get that going for you. So yes, feel free to join us for First Friday Coffee at 9 o'clock at 60 Forward. Anyone is welcome. Any other questions about the fall term or the classes? Well, if you weren't able to unmute or you think of a question later, feel free to email or call me. I'm ready and willing to answer at any time. My email is HB as in boy, RIS as in Sam, T as in Tom, OW at iastate.edu. And my phone number is 515-294-5790. And I did mention a little bit earlier that we are having some hiccups with transitioning to our new website. If you go out to our website, olli.iastate.edu, our old website will be up until the new one is ready. So that will get you to us no matter what, whether it's the old site or the new. And registration will open Friday, August 15th, this Friday, at 8:30 in the morning. Again, that will be through ISU Registration Services. If you have any issues with their forms trying to fill it out and you can't get a hold of me, feel free to reach out to them. They are very responsive and willing to help. Their phone number is 515-294-6222, or you can email them at registrations@iastate.edu. And all this information has been sent in the newsletter and in emails. But again, if you can't remember, just shoot me an email and ask me for it, and I will gladly send it to you again. And that's all I have for today, unless there are other questions you want answered.
I have an important item for Mike Metz. Now on my screen, if you want to talk to Sam, you need to look up and to the right, to your right. Your right.
To my right?
Yep, there we go.
Like Hollywood Squares, huh? Hi, Sam.
Hi, Mike.
And we expect you to keep track of that.
So we will go ahead and wrap up for today. We will put this recording out on our website on the course information page as soon as we can. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to call me anytime. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you. If the new website is not live on Friday, can we still go ahead and register?
Yes.
Going through the old website?
Yes, the old website will get you there. Yep.
Okay.